everyone, Patricia here. Today I'm going to tell you all about how I wash my dishes and keep my home somewhat tidy. Tip number 1, do them all. Don't think I'll come back to this one or I'm going to let this one soak. The idea is that after breakfast, you clean all the breakfast dishes. After lunch, so on and so forth. Ideally, you can get all of your dishes done and have a clean sink and a clean counter at the end of every meal and again at the end of every night. Reuse your cups. My toddler uses the same water cup and milk cup all day. When she's not using that milk cup, I put it in the refrigerator. I use the same mug all day. I use the same water cup and water canteen as well. That way you're not doing so many dishes throughout the day. Let something that truly needs soaking soak while you eat, or you can let it soak while you're doing the other dishes. So say it's a pot or a pan, let it soak in the basin of the sink, wash your cups, your plates, your spoons. That water will run into the pot or pan soaking in the basin, and by the time you're done with those, it's ready to go. Things don't need to soak overnight for a really, really long time. I'm laughing because I tell you I would leave things for a very long time to avoid cleaning them. Clean as you go. It really does save you some time. So oftentimes when you're cooking, something needs to boil or brown or bake. That's the perfect time to wash a few dishes. You don't have to get all of them done, but whatever you can get done during that time is going to help you out later on. Flash dry. Have you heard of flash dry? I'm going to ask you a poll question here. Simple yes or no. Flash dry is the idea for those of you who have a dishwasher that as soon as it beeps that it's done, you open the door and let the cool air flash dry those dishes. And I'm going to tell you, it truly works. My dishes from the dishwasher are dry within minutes. Whereas in the past, before flash dry, when you leave the door closed, it takes forever and you open it up and there's still water drops on everything. Sometimes with flash dry, like a Pyrex lid, those things are never fully dry. But in general, most of the dishes, especially plates and cups, are totally dry. So try flash dry, and if you do, let me know if it worked for you, because it has not failed me once since I've started doing it. You serve your meals not from the pot, you might consider serving them directly into the leftovers container. I use Pyrex as for all my stuff. I don't use plastic anymore except for my broth. So I don't mind serving because it's glass and it looks nice. Sometimes I will serve on a new platter I just got. I like to put baked goods and different things on there. So if you don't mind washing an extra dish, use your platters and stuff. But if you kind of want to cut back on the dishes you're doing, consider serving into your leftovers container. That way, when everyone's done eating, you just put a lid on it and put it right into the refrigerator. And lastly, you want to use the right tool for the job. So my favorite sponges are the ones from Trader Joe's that are really dried and dehydrated. You get several in one pack. You put them into a cup of water or under running water and they expand. I love those. They don't, however, have a scrubby side. So I purchase scrubbies separately. I don't know what they're called, like not a Brillo pad. But I'll put in a picture. I get those. I actually cut them in half and they last me a really long time. Now I could get the 2-in-1 sponges, but I find the system works better because I can really wring each one of them out. And my super ultimate favorite tool of all time is this little plastic scraper. This thing is awesome at getting off really dried on stuff. I also use this when things like oatmeal don't get soaked right away, or rice. Any of those grains kind of stick to cups, you know how that is, or stick to bowls. This is perfect. I'm going to link below some if I can find them. This is really awesome. I love this tool and I do not know what I would do without it. So here is my routine, what I do every day, about 3 times a day. Every single time we eat, the first step after my kids have been, hands washed and everything, I clear the table of everything. I want to leave an empty table so all the dishes, cups, silverware, everything goes to the kitchen. I'm not washing it, I'm just putting them on the counter. So now that everything's in the kitchen, I've eliminated the need to walk back and forth. It's time to scrape the plates. Now you can scrape anything not worth saving into your compost bin or your trash. Things that are worth saving, so my toddler will often leave a lot of food, I save those for leftovers because my lunch is usually leftover dinner. I put all the leftovers in the same spot on my counter. I don't know what it is, but there's this place where I put everything with the lid on, so that way I'm only opening the refrigerator once. I put them there and I don't put them in the refrigerator until I'm done with the dishes, just in case there's something else that needs to be packed away. Okay, finally we can turn on the water, get your soapy sponge, and let's wash a dish. Here I like to specialize. I'll do all the cups at once, all the cutlery at once, all the plates and bowls. You know what I mean, so you're specializing on a specific type of dish. We have a double sink, so I wash on the side with the garbage disposal and I put the dishes on the other side. So now that all the dishes have been washed and they're sitting in that basin, I just bring the hot water over and rinse off any soap that may still be on them, and then I load my dishwasher. So I'm only bending over and loading my dishwasher once the water's off usually and the dishes are basically clean. I try to run it every single night so I can start the next morning with all the dishes done, although there are days when it's just too empty and it doesn't justify running all that water. So now I can finally end my dishwashing routine by going back over to my table with my rag and my all-purpose cleaner. I usually get my rag wet with some hot water, clean up any extra food that's still on the table, anything that's on the floor, because it happens a lot with a 2-year-old and a 10-month-old. And then I use my all-purpose spray and kind of disinfect. It's just vinegar and water, but lately I've been adding lemon and orange, and it just makes it smell so spring and so nice. The last step to my dishwashing routine is to sweep. It has nothing to do with dishes, but it's all around the idea of food and cleaning food. Who would have thought there was so much to talk about around dishes? What is your number one most helpful tip for washing your dishes? Share it in the comments below. If you have any questions about my routine, let me know and I'll address them as best I can. Thanks for tuning in to my first routine video. I'm sure there's a lot more random videos coming your way, so subscribe if you want to see some of that. Thanks for watching. Bye.